Okay, so tonight I am making spaghetti. I am making my own sauce. I've got a pound, a little bit over a pound. I usually buy a big pack of hamburger meat and separate it out. So probably about a pound and a half. I'm going to use chopped onions. Yes, again, frozen chopped onions, just easier and quicker. I'm going to use regular garlic this time instead of just garlic powder because it's Italian. I've got my Italian-based tomatoes. I've got paste, sauce, salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, and garlic powder. So I'm going to get all this put in. You don't have to have the Italian-based tomatoes. You can use different kinds of sauce. There is sauce that has the oregano and stuff in it. I'm not a big fan of that because it's kind of overpowering. So we're going to get started. Okay, so I've got my onions, garlic, salt, pepper, and a little bit more Italian. I'll put a lot of, good bit of Italian seasoning, sorry, and garlic powder in here. I'm going to let all this brown together. I always just feel like it just seasons the meat prior to putting any sauce or anything in it. I can't give you exact measurements. Basically, I just sprinkle everything over the top till it kind of like covers, and that kind of gives me a good idea. Usually, after everything cooks down, I do have to add a little more salt and pepper, sometimes some more Italian seasoning. But for now, this is just the beginning. Once this browns, we'll go to the next step. Okay, once the meat is browned, as you can see, your onions are going to be clear. You're going to start adding in your liquids. I just put my tomato sauce, and the tomato paste is kind of thick, so I'm going to have to spoon that out of there. So once it's in there, the amount of water I use is going to be 1 can of water for that. And then I also use this can. So that's usually just the right amount of water that you're going to need to have a good thick tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce. This sauce can also be used for baked spaghetti. It can be used for lasagna. It's basically anything you want to use it for, your tomatoes, anything that calls for like a tomato sauce. My mom, growing up, made weenie spaghetti, which was really sweet, you know. But as I started getting older and started, cooking for myself, I found I liked more of a Italian flavor, not so sweet. So I started making this. So just follow along. I will be back in a minute. You're going to need to cover this, put it on medium-high, let it simmer for about 20 minutes. Make sure you stir it. Don't let it just sit and, keep an eye on it. I always say just stay in the kitchen. After about 15 minutes, I'm going to taste it, see if I need anything else, salt, pepper, garlic, anything like that. Okay, this has been simmering for about 15-20 minutes. You can see it's nice and thick. Time for a little taste test. Okay, so it needs a little bit more salt. Again, it's better to add salt as you go. And what I do is I usually just kind of like sprinkle it over the top. I add some more Italian seasoning too, as a matter of fact. Kind of just sprinkle it. That's the one thing about cooking. Most of it is to taste, so it's hard to say, oh, use 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon. Because to your taste, maybe 5 tablespoons or no tablespoons. So, all right, so what I'm going to do is while this cooks down a little bit more, I'm going to put this on low or medium low. Let it simmer some more while I take my noodles. My family likes the thin or the angel hair. I'm going to get this boiled up, and then I will show you the final product. All right, so it's been start to finish 45 minutes. I started at 4. It's 4:46. Got my noodles done. If you're like my family and like to put the sauce on the noodles, what I do is I drain, and then I put this on top of leave it on top of the pan with a little water on the bottom, and I cover it with aluminum foil, so that way, it don't dry out or get, even more sticky or anything. So I'm gonna plate this up, and then I will show you how it looks. Okay, so as you can see a nice chunks of tomato and garlic. For the last thing I do, I just add a little bit of shredded parm. Of course, you can use the ones that are in the little can. A lot of times I'll use triple cheddar, just whatever I'm in the mood for. This right here, this is for my mom and dad. I help take care of them, so I'm gonna take this next door to them. But usually the size pot I made this time probably feeds 5 to 6, depending on people's appetite, with a little bit left over. If you're making for more people, of course, double the meat, double the sauce, and everything is still the same. You just double what you're doing. But if you like, you can also mix in your noodles in with the spaghetti sauce. I know a lot of people like to do that. I used to do that myself. So whichever one you prefer. But overall, this is going to be your finished product. Again, start to finish, from browning my meat, adding the sauce, simmering, making my noodles, 45 minutes, maybe a little over. So you can get a homemade meal done for your family, for your friends, for yourself, in around 45 minutes. So, bon appetit.